by slam poetry?
I think this is kind of a bigger question that keeps being asked. Basically, we like to compare it to darts, or family game night is the metaphor I use, where it's competitive poetry. I think a lot of people disregard it because it's competitive and, oh, you know, like, you're just writing for the audience, or you just have this certain style that works, so you just do that, but I don't think that's true. I think it depends on the person, and I think that was evident at Cupsy that, you know, the reason why we're all there is family game night.
When I was a student at UNC, there wasn't much slam, but there was some slams that were happening on Franklin Street and in the community, and so folks would come out a lot of times from UNC, people from EROT, which back then that was pretty much the only poetry group on campus. So Tariq Lulin had the idea to have another poetry organization on campus that would facilitate a lot of different things happening, but one of the main goals I think he had was to select a team that would compete at Cupsy.
You know, we threw some stuff up, we were inexperienced, we just, you know, did our first thing. But like...
We started 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago now, by having a hybrid open mic slam. The first time we went and competed at Cupsy was in our first year last year. We came in 12th place. We missed semifinals by about less than a point. I think it was either 0.6 or 0.4. And I was really looking forward to doing more this year, and I was really optimistic coming into 2013.
We in New York around 9 a.m.
Yeah. So we have past DC track.
I mean, like, but getting to DC, leaving at 11 o'clock.
So the original plan was that we were going to take 2 cars and drive to New York. Julia McEwen was one of the team members, got use of her family's van for the trip, and I was also supposed to be taking my car, which is a Jeep Cherokee.
I went to check my phone thinking, oh, 2 a.m. is going to be a lovely trip. Just going to go take a nap, get ready. And then I got a call, or called back after getting 4 missed calls, 7 texts.
Hello, are you Sir
His car broke down.
Nice.
You know, I thought, hey, Dad, you know, what are the odds that I can steal a car from you for a week? And rather than just saying, hey, you know, I can give you the car to drive, you know, all the way up to New York, why don't I just, you know, help y'all do the driving?
85 to 95 up to at least to Philadelphia.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
It's a straight shot. It's like
I don't know what happens after Philadelphia.
We'll figure it out. Right, we'll walk the rest of the way.
Like 2 hours ago.
Hey, this is what happens when you do it.
Cupsy stands for College Union's Poetry Slam Invitational. BNV is Brave New Voices. That is the 13 to 19-year-old age group event. NPS is hosted by Poetry Slam Inc., and they do the adult version of slam. So Cupsy is in the middle ground. It's the college version of those. This is the premier poetry slam for college-age students, and I believe it is in its 12th year, I believe. These past few years, the numbers have skyrocketed. Last year there were 48 teams, I believe, and this year is 459.
First and foremost, I want to welcome everybody to Barnard College. Welcome to Cupsy.
As far as the community at Cupsy, like that was the thing I was most excited about going for this year. Whereas last year, because I didn't know anybody and I had just gotten into slam that year.
Mocha or brown sugar, reply firmly that no, we are adobe-based and dirt skin and earth people with a flavor-like foundation and
The problem with raw talent is if you have raw talent and you don't put the work in, that can cause problems. And we did have some of those problems.
People together. I want these hands.
I think right before the first bout, after we had run all the pieces and everybody had their stuff memorized, because that was the big thing. It wasn't that the poems weren't good. It was that they hadn't completely memorized everything they had to have memorized by that point. So we're really worried about would they be slipping up on stage, and were they completely confident with the words they were speaking and spitting, to the point where they would deliver like as strongly as we knew they were capable.
We've all been there, man. Don't worry about it.
No. That's why we run multiple times.
Are you the only one memorizing a brand new NP anyway? I think so. I think the answer to that is yes.
What I told them then is, I reiterated the same thing I told them the first practice. Y'all are the most talented team I've ever coached. That being said, y'all are really going to have to go in the next 5 days, and imagine if you just put all of your energy into the next 5 days, what is possible.
The bouts were already out, and we had seen them. And we knew we were going to be in our first bout again, like we were in our first year against McAllister, who didn't win last year but won the year before. And they're incredible. So we were kind of ready for that, but not ready for that. We just knew it wasn't going to be easy.
We are going to be calculating scores. You don't look at them. They don't apply to you. Points are not a point, and I know it's redundant, but they don't matter. You just go out there and do the best version you can do of this poem, because that's what we're doing all past 2 months.
Y'all are ready the best.
The bouts were set up so that there would be 5 teams competing against each other 3 times.
I was told that I was going to be a floater for the first round, and that didn't really bother me just because I knew somebody would have to sit out in every bout.
Last night, the dumpster played witness to a shooting. But I promise, you can have it by the
It was mostly UNT versus McAllister in the beginning. And then in the 3rd round, Simmons College really started to just pull out all the stops. And
I understand. Insecurity.
I was a living slot machine like...
After pulling the 2 in the first bout and coming in 2nd place, we really had no room for error.
We got work to do tomorrow.
Short and sweet. You already know what it is.
But we knew going in, so we had a 2, and we knew we needed the 1. We didn't have any wiggle room. There were 2 1s and another 2 that we were going up against. So that means they didn't have any wiggle room either. We just went into it, just knowing all the pressure, but then trying to kind of keep that at bay.
There was a whole lot of nervous energy on my end.
What if I told you God is gay? Do you think belligerent Bible belters would still holler hate speech to the hilltops in his name? Or do you think maybe they'd reread the scriptures they say they swear and survive by? See, I've been reading the Bible again lately, and I think I've taken a leaf from my old holy book, picking passages for my purpose, which is in short to show you it's very possible God just might be gay.
Obviously it's a very controversial poem. It's a poem that he wrote when I was coaching him last year on the Brave New Voices team. And we went through a lot of edits on it, but it's a really strong piece.
I don't mean to be generalizing, but it certainly seems like the Garden of Eden was designed by divine eye for the straight guy.
The parts where I started quoting scripture, I really bore into the piece in a way that I hadn't before.
God may pass judgment. Matthew 7:1. Judge, and you too shall be judged. Luke 6:37. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Fred Phelps 2006. You're going to hell. God hates fags. A history lesson. A faggot is a bundle of sticks, originally used as kindling for fires that engulfed days when they were burned at the stake. People were fiery. But see, Moses came across wood on fire and saw God. What is a burning bush but bundles of branches on fire? Isn't it funny how faggots and God can look the same sometimes?
Everybody hit really hard. That was the first time Gabe had gone up with an indie. And he was incredible. Like, the entire crowd was just like, what?
The echoing stream guiding me through this dark hallway. I see my dad, a tower over my mom who's crumpled on the floor bleeding. My fingers curl for the first time. My breath heavy and rasp. Oh, what? You gonna do something, boy? You a man now?
Our coach DJ was like, "You're gonna be the last round because we pulled a C, so like you're gonna be." We had the last round. We had the last slot of the last round. So there were 4 rounds, and like we had the last slot, so we would be the last thing the audience would hear. So like they were like, "You're gonna close us out," and like they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be dope, and you're gonna be like, we believe in you. You got it. Like don't worry about it, but like you got to bring it and everything."
He was 7. He stumbles into the room with sleep plastered onto his face. I can see the cycle repeating itself in him. His eyes red with the innocence that I killed. His mom looks up at him from the floor. She smiles the way she did when I first fell in love with him. She says, "Baby, did we wake you up? Me and your dad were just moving some stuff around. Just go back to bed, honey. I'll fix you some pancakes." Oh,
We were surprised, I guess, at getting the one, but like very grateful and just so happy.
Y'all were actually perfect tonight. If you bring it like you've been bringing it, we're going to bring this home. Gabe, Elliot, Lauren, Julia, superb work. And I am so proud of all of you.
At the end of the second bout, I figured out that I wasn't going to be performing then either.
Tomorrow's semis. There's like a really 85% chance we're in semis.
Yeah, we weren't guaranteed a place at semis. No one is. You know, what if we hadn't been guaranteed a spot, and then I would have worked so hard and for nothing.
She didn't perform in prelims at all, which is like, it's really heartbreaking just because like you feel like you're not useful. Like I can't speak for her, but like if I was in her shoes, I'm just like, so what am I here for?
People were congratulating us, and they like looked at me and they were like, "So who are you? Did you perform? Are you part of the cheering section?" It's not about like people congratulating you afterwards. It's about, you know, I worked so hard to get on the team. It hurt to work so hard for something and then get to this place that felt like it was supposed to be an open mic where you're supposed to just be able to tell your story, and then you're the only person that doesn't really get to share. It was like when we were competing, I didn't really feel like I was part of the team as much.
Alright, this is it. We've been doing this right now we're proud of y'all. Y'all came, y'all showed them what we're about. We improved upon last year, but we're not done though. We're not done at all. We get past this round, we're at finals, and you know we're winning that shit. But don't think ahead though.
And what's our school name?
UNC.
Right? So that means we University of No Chill. We ain't chilling none tonight. None.
But hey, we're gonna take it one step at a time. Between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, it's all about this round. It's all about us. We're gonna enjoy these group pieces, enjoy the sacrifice, enjoy the poetry, enjoy the community, enjoy being here with everybody. But then we go in on our pieces.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah.
So when we went to semis, we couldn't believe it. That, like, I've never been on a semifinal stage.
But I didn't expect us to go very far just because of our lack of preparation. And teams that I've been on in the past, again, at a different competition, did not make it, like, barely made it to semis and then did not make it all the way to finals. And so I didn't necessarily even expect us to make semis. That was a real shock for me.
All right. You can slow it down a little bit. You're at 225. Slow it down a little bit. Voice is pretty good, but you gotta break that box with your body, especially in this poem. Like,
we were a little worried going into semis because the thing is we knew that we had strong pieces. It's just we were worried that we would run out of steam.
How to parody a slam poem, and that we threw that up first, and we had no hope for that. Elliot and I have a love-hate relationship with that poem, and we were like, let's just get through this. It's a group piece.
How to parody a slam poem. Step 1. Make sure the audience knows they have never heard this poem before. Your idea is totally unique and original, like Instagram photos.
Or 50 Shades of Grey.
Or Nicki Minaj.
Nobody mocks slam poetry. Nobody. Step 2. You're a poet. Everything you say is deep.
Watercress into puppy larva. Our banana turtles beating loudly. But the more levels of poetry you have, the higher score you'll get.
It's like
we almost went over time because people loved it. And kept interrupting us with like these shouts and stuff, and we had not prepared for that at all.
Sing! You're freestyling!
Sing!
Can't actually sing?
Sing! Step 6! Freestyle! It was just difficult, like finding a consistent metaphor. We were worried that it wasn't going to be funny, just because, you know, everybody had heard the jokes before. And we both had really never done a funny piece.
Watercolors be for you, not for judges. Your words are the most beautiful when no one is keeping score.
We just had no idea people would love it as much as they did.
A couple of them had really done well and gone in, and a couple of them had, it seemed like they were a little nervous, maybe a little shaky, and I think semifinals, they seemed to have gotten in the swing of things. You know, the ice had been broken. In the semifinals bout, they really lost themselves in the poem.
Tell them your story.
Feel it.
Spit. Bring nothing back.
Hell yeah.
Go in, poet. Tell me your story.
My mother was fucked from the start. She learned to count on her papi's empty brandy bottles. She learned to iron in the morning of my abuela's only day of work, and she learned how to guard her plate from the hunger etched into her brother's china pattern. At 12, she learned the worst
of a seamstress's calluses how to divide her paycheck by the pricks in her fingers because empty stomachs make easy targets. Don't you dare feel sorry for my mother. You take the pity in your eyes and burn it because it has no place in my mother's story. At 17, she divided her paycheck between rent and textbooks, boyfriend, college, work. She bounced it all on the tips of her fingers until
It was amazing. Just the most incredible performance I have ever seen from her, and I hope she continues to like grow from that point.
I'll get the fuck out just like you told me to. I'll run just like you told me to, and I will keep running until I'm one of those women you helped me dream of. Until I am even better than the woman you were supposed to be. Until I am every hope that we have for each other. But mommy, when that happens, I have to come home. And I'll say, please forgive me. I know you said never come back, but mommy, I made it. Proud of me.
That's the wild card of talent. You know what I mean? Like I'd much rather take effort over talent any day.
It's just a really great piece, and I haven't seen her perform it to that caliber to this day.
All right. With a total of 112.2 points, in second place, Brooklyn College.
I almost cried when we won that because going into this, like you want to win it, like, but I didn't necessarily see it happening. Like it wasn't like this like concrete thing in my head. And it was happening, like we were on our way to finals.
Favorite quote is, "I am not the greatest, but I can do the impossible." It's a quote by Anderson Silva. We made it.
True.
Not to expound on it, I am so fucking proud of each and every last one of you.
But every time you hit the stage, I swear I saw in everybody you turned it on. And like Kane said, y'all were your pieces. There was no acting done tonight. There was not a drop of acting done tonight because there was no need to.
Tonight we had dope-ass poems. But the poems we use in prelims are the ones you know you love those poems. And now that we have them for finals, it's a perfect storm. You can like show what you want, who you are, where we from, and what you write, like what your style is, who you are, and tell them your story.
I just want to say that this is the second time, and this time it was for much better, more awesome reasons. But this is the second time that I have not touched stage at a semifinal bout. And I wanted to let you all know that you made that, like you made me feel like I was a part of every single poem that you were doing. And now I get to perform on final stage because of what you guys did tonight.
Y'all about to be on final stage, your first year. Don't let that make you peak too early. I've seen it happen with folks, you know what I'm saying? Don't let this make you complacent, let this be that fuel, like, yo. Because next year, it comes with an expectation. It comes with an expectation. Next year, they're going to look at you a certain way. Even now, they're like, oh shit, this Gabe, he's about to spit. That's the dude from UNC. That's me from UNC. And then you got to come with some new fire. You got to come with some next level. So stay humble in this moment. Take it in. Thank you. I really appreciate it when people congratulate you, all that. Show people love. Enjoy it. And listen, we got a job to do tomorrow. We still going to go in and represent hard tomorrow. Yes.
Like, we barely made it here. Like, not like off scores or shit. Like, physically.
We literally barely made it here.
Can we talk about how this
We didn't have a car with like 5 hours. So that is the universe saying, we hate you. Like the truck driver incident.
Right.
That's the universe saying, I hate you.
Every
time cars got separated, that's the universe saying, I hate you.
Amen.
But we just said, fuck you, universe. We gonna take this shit. We showed so much love, and we did so much good shit. And I just love y'all so much right now.
Can we shut up?
I didn't think they would make finals. I thought that they had a good shot at making semis. And I told them the first practice of the season and the last practice, I was like, y'all are by far the best, the most talented team I've ever coached.
But I like doing it. Corny or whatever. It's going to blow up this room right here. So y'all just repeat after me, all right?
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm awake.
I'm awake.
I'm enthusiastic.
I'm enthusiastic.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm awake.
I'm awake.
I'm a poet.
I'm a poet.
Hear me roar.
Hear me roar.
Say word.
Wordsmiths.
Say word.
Wordsmiths.
Say word.
Wordsmiths.
I feel so good like I knew I would. Ooh, I feel so good. Ooh, I feel so good like I knew I would. Ooh, I feel so good. Ooh, I feel so good like I knew I would. Ooh, I feel so good. Let go down. Ooh, I feel so good like I knew I would. Ooh, I feel so good.
We were all just really excited to not only make finals, but have finals with such a dynamic, friendly group of poets.
We were just like, let's just do this. Let's go out with a bang. Let's really enjoy this experience for what it is. Like, it's not winning, and that's wonderful, but I just want to experience it. And I think they get it and we got it, and based on their present, they help other people get it too.
Started from the bottom, but I made it to the top. Won't stop to the tippy. All my niggas rolling with me. Is you with me or against me? I be super tipsy. I be super fly. Aliens be chilling with. Toe tagging, body bagging, killing all the competition. On a mission for addition of this money, man. I'm wishing, but I'm focused anyway. And I'm here to say today. Better yet, I say the game. I'm the lion, never tame. It's a shame, it's a pity. I ain't never been a bad guy. Anybody got a problem? Only question why I try. You know how it's gonna end. Me being victorious. Always do it big, like my name was notorious. Middle fingers up like I wish a nigga would. Got some hair on my
University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Who are you sending up? Rookies! All right.
It wasn't as, I think, cutthroat as you would expect it to be because so much is on the table. It was more of do what you came here to do. You don't know if you're gonna get another chance. You don't know if you don't know when the next time you're going to perform at a national stage. So I think they realized it, and they realized they could win, that they were really good, and they pulled up performances that I haven't seen before from them.
I was maybe 9 or 10, 13 years old.
In 5th grade.
Born fighting in a war I was destined to lose. Instant messaging memories don't fade as quickly as type-faced tag-alongs. You don't have to be grown to learn the biases you will be defined by.
I was definitely feeling, the stress, the intensity, everything that comes together at once when you suddenly have to stand on a stage in front of 800 people, or whether you're trying to figure out whether or not you're going to be standing on a stage in front of 800 people, something you have to mentally prepare for.
My body has never been something to serve for writing.
But I promise,
You can have it by the mouthful. How else can I tell you that you are more than fat and flab? You're a full course of gorgeous.
we are still learning to love ourselves whole.
When we went over for the group piece, that kind of broke my heart. I kind of blamed myself for that entire piece, and it took me until my poem to really kind of get over that.
Lauren coming to the stage. We keep clapping until she gets up here.
When I went up to the stage, hearing people cheer for me. There's the, oh, yeah, whoever that person is, and then there's the, oh, it's that person, cheer, and, hearing that, really touched me, hearing all the love and the people that supported me, that was better than any medal or whatever that we could have won.
To the woman who walked into my mother's studio, took one look at the paintings of our family, and proceeded to tell us how those Orientals really like to stay out of the sun. Really? Okay. Clearly you must have missed it in the last couple of decades.
That was the most intense I've ever done that piece. I think I was just in a place where I was like, I have all these emotions. I need to be really angry right now. Oh, this is convenient.
Stranger stumbling drunkenly into a ceremony you can never understand. From 5 textbook pages on children doused in napalm, there is still a fear of burning here. So forgive us if we are not ready to join you in the sun.
Ultimately, you can't control what other people are going to do. You can only control how you do things.
Even saying Christian things used to sound a lot more like love thy neighbor as thyself. But nowadays, it sounds a lot more like hate at the top of your picket sign. The closest thing to God being hell is waiting for you. They're passing out damnation pamphlets filled with out-of-context Bible verses trying to define God when his meaning is clear. He is acceptance. He is pride, he is humility, he is just, God is perfection, God is protection, God is love, but most importantly, God is gay.
The first thing, me, Tarek, and DJ looked at each other and it was like, dang. And my first reaction was, that's exactly what we want.
From low to high, we have a sense.
Everyone booed that 6. The whole place was like exploded. I don't know how many people there were in there. Maybe more. Maybe 800. I don't know. But it's exactly what we want to do. Because that person they're gonna think about that 6 for a long time. Like everyone in there that saw it, they're gonna be thinking about that 6. But also that person that gave that 6, they're gonna be thinking about that for a long time.
After the slam ended, and for some reason there was a delay with the scores, so everybody got up, started hugging all the poets, started congratulating people, started complimenting on pieces, lights went up, microphones got shut down. It was just, everybody became a community again.
I think the beautiful thing about the slam and our scene in general is it doesn't matter what place we get. I mean, the place is definitely a nice little number to give people who don't really know what this community and this family is about. But at the end of the day, we could come in 59th place and it wouldn't matter because I know how strong our poetry is, how talented we are, and how passionate everybody here is for the art form.
It was an incredible experience.
It was dope. It was a fun time.
You go somewhere and you're with people for 4 days, 5 days, however long, and they share the most intimate parts of their life. It's a really deep, strong bond, and I think that the level of safety that is fostered in the community there allows people to create these bonds, and that, it really shows what poetry can do.
I feel like whatever happened in the finals was mainly just icing on the cake. Because I feel like the fact that we made it to finals, the fact that we did so well, the fact that we're nationally recognized now, is just so much more important than what the scores are in the final bout. It was just great to suspend reality for a little bit and act like we could all be poets all the time.
People know our name now. People know our name now. Like, we barely made it, and then we're on final stage. They know who we are, and hopefully they won't forget anytime soon.